Did you know that talking to strangers isn't such a bad thing? It could lead to a new friendship potentially. Hi, listen to Care and Curiosity. I'm your host Christopher, and this week my guest is somebody actually I'm going to interview throughout this week for an assignment that I have for my anthropology class. Um, Hi Dan, how you doing?
Hi, Christopher. I'm quite fine, thank you.
That's great. That's great. So a little backstory for this assignment that I have is talking to strangers. So it's I could have simply asked somebody from my class because I barely know anybody from my class, but I decided to go on Reddit and ask the people of Reddit because well, that's simpler for me.
Because
I don't
we're
know
quite
why.
strange here.
Yeah. So I mean, thank God I posted something on the subreddit r/chat and I got 4 people actually interested.
Oh, damn.
And so yeah, 4 people. That's 4 more than I expected. Okay, so start off. Tell me about yourself.
Well, I am a 21-year-old guy living in Sweden. I
Hmm.
I have just started my unemployment. Woohoo. Though
Oh,
it is kind of planned because I was actually planning to start studying, but then COVID happened. So
yeah.
the number of applicants have taken a pretty sharp turn up. And I'm
Honestly,
not
yeah.
sure I'm gonna get in, but hopefully.
Well,
Uh,
you can only pray. That's all you can do now.
yeah.
Because of COVID, a whole bunch of stuff went down. I missed out on my senior trip back when I
Ooh.
was in my last year of high school, which
Okay.
sucked because I was going to
Yeah.
go to Central Europe.
Oh, that's
That
cool.
was my first time out of my country and first time on a plane, and none of that happened. Okay, so
Yeah, some great timing.
yeah, that's great timing. So, did you have like a profession that you did before all this happened, or are you doing something now currently that
Well, I
keeping
mean,
you
yeah,
busy?
I finished high school like 2 years ago now, I think. So
Hmm.
between that, I have had two like proper jobs and then a bit of like odd jobs in between. But the two proper ones were I worked as a technician at a waste incineration plant here in the town.
Okay, that's
Uh,
wow. Yeah,
yeah,
that
I'm not sure
I
how interested you are with that one in particular, but
I
yeah,
mean, no, I'm just quite surprised because that's the first time I've heard anybody working at a place like that. That wasn't like in a cartoon. That's the first time I heard
okay,
a real person working at that. So
yeah. Well, I mean,
it's interesting.
like the thing is that Sweden, as I'm sure Canada as well, does get pretty cold, and so you need to warm it up somehow. And a great way to warm it
Minus
up,
42 degrees Celsius winters here. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So
I
a
mean,
great
I
way,
think the lowest temperature. Sorry, go on.
so a great way to warm it up is to just burn the trash. That's the burnable trash.
Uh, I mean, you do what you gotta do to keep warm.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the coldest temperature in Canada that I've seen so far or heard of is like minus 62 and a half,
Oh shit!
and
God
that was in
damn.
like that's like Yukon. So that's the territory. So that's more up north
hmm
from where I live. So yeah, it gets pretty cold here, but we manage to get through it every year. So
Yeah. No,
hey, it's where we live.
yeah, I live, basically everyone in Sweden live in mostly in the southern part of Sweden. There are a couple of people who live far up north, but the majority live like below half of Sweden.
Yeah.
So
So
like right around where I live, like the coldest that you could usually expect would be like -30.
yeah. So I actually wrote this down for some reason because I wanted to actually know what does your Reddit username mean? Because on Reddit your username is fifth comma 12.
Yes.
I'm curious, what does that mean?
Um, I don't know. You see,
Well,
way
great.
back when I was
Mhm.
using Xbox, then
Mhm.
I had an account and I had named myself like Ralph or something. I don't know. And then I
Mhm.
got like Xbox Online thing. I can't quite Xbox Live, right? Xbox Live.
Uh-huh.
And then, of course, Ralph was taken because
Mhm.
it's gonna be taken. And
Oh
so then
yeah.
they just gave me a random name and then also like a token. You can change it if you want.
Mhm.
And that name was fifth comma and then just a long string of numbers. Now
Uh-huh.
I can't remember the long string of numbers, but I don't know, like fifth comma was neat. I just stuck
Mm.
by it, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, when you have a username, you just stick by it and you have no idea what it means
Yeah,
sometimes.
basically.
I mean, my Roblox username is just the result of me slamming my hand on my keyboard, and I got JBZH, and there we
I
go.
mean, that
That's it.
works.
I don't know why. That works. That's been my username on that website for I don't know how long at this point. I'm 16. About 10 years, I think. I don't know how long Roblox has been out. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know
been
my
out
own
10 years.
time.
Damn. Uh,
Finished. Okay, well, I don't know then. I don't even know how long I had that account. Anyways, moving on. Thanks, I cut. So, how do you spend your free time? Like, what hobbies do you have?
well, right before you messaged me, well, when you
Hmm.
messaged me, well, now,
Yeah.
I was playing, just sitting there playing Stellaris. So yeah, I play games a fair bit. Other than that, well, the reason that I actually answered the post was that, well, I had just, oh fuck, I just dropped the dice. Uh, was that I had just woken up, and when I just wake up,
Hmm.
I usually read for a bit. But well, I had just finished my book, and so I didn't really have anything to read, so I just jumped on Reddit for a while.
Nah, I mean, usually I read like an hour before I go to bed,
Yeah,
usually. So,
yeah,
I
same. Like
mean,
I try to keep to like an hour before bed, and then well, when I don't have work or school or something like that, then it's usually a bit when after I wake up as well.
yeah, because I spend a lot of time on electronics, so I'm trying to like stay away from that a bit.
Yeah.
So I try to put more reading into my daily life. So, and for the past few days, I haven't been doing that, which sucks. But like after just reading, sometimes it can get addictive. That teacher just stop reading at one point because you're reading too much.
Yeah, like after like if you really get into a book, you just can't put it down, and you just
Honestly,
you just disappear
the
into this black hole of nothingness, disappear from everyone
yes.
in your life for like a couple of days before until the book's done.
Oh my God, there's one book I've read so far that has made me do that. It's Optimist Die First,
Hmm.
and that's the only book that's made me just like I don't want to put this down. I keep reading. I read 26 chapters in the first time I got it. That's
Yeah,
like what almost half the book because it's like what almost 50 chapters. So
yeah, yeah. Same. Like the like one of the more extreme versions of this would have been well, extreme and extreme, but one of the more memorable versions of this was when I got the Name of the Wind for
yeah.
my.
Hmm.
I got that. Well, my birthday is like 2nd of January, so I got that
Hmm.
book for Christmas, I think. Uh, but then, um, and then like I love this book. It was great. Like I started reading it and just immediately got sucked in. But
Yeah.
I couldn't buy the next book because well I was gonna have my
You want
birthday
to
and
read
I had
on?
I like of course my family had noticed that I had just disappeared reading this book.
Oh God.
So I couldn't buy the next book in case they were gonna buy it for my birthday. So I had to.
Hmm.
So basically, like as soon as I had opened my presents, I just jumped my bike, biked over to the bookstore, got back, started reading the next book.
Oh my God, I haven't laughed on an episode yet. It's like this hard. Oh my God. Probably I haven't done an episode with a guest in like a month, so this is also fun. Alright, next on my list of questions for you. Do you have any talents? I don't know why I wrote that. I was
um,
just really tired. Do you have any talents?
um, I don't know. I can actually. I'm not sure what it like. I think it's called devil sticks. I'm not sure. But it's basically you have two sticks
Uh-huh.
that you use to like juggle around one longer stick.
Oh my God, I did that in elementary school. Gym class.
Yeah, like my sister, she was part of a
Hmm.
youth circus for a while, like a couple of years,
Oh.
and
Hmm.
then well, they went to like perform at places like they had this big circus tent that they like put up somewhere like for like a week each summer,
Hmm.
and uh, like during this week, my family usually just like tagged along. Well, of course, like my sister wasn't too old, so they had to have some parent, and then like you could make that into like a family trip.
Hmm.
So, and during like I don't quite remember if it was I think it was like during the day, like before the show and all of that. Like they usually had like all like kids from around could come and like be part of the classes, like
Hmm.
classes like okay now let's try juggling, now let's try jumping on a unicycle, and I
Okay.
got quite attached to the devil sticks, and so I'm not quite sure how good I am now, but I could do some tricks back in the day at least.
Like I've thought about juggling on a unicycle, and I've seen people do it on like on videos, and like I'm never gonna do that because then I have to balance on a unicycle and juggle at the same time. And which I taught myself how to juggle last year when
Mm,
my family and I went on to vacation in Ontario,
yeah.
and I just taught myself how to juggle, and somehow I can still juggle, and I'm trying to teach myself how to juggle with one hand, which isn't that bad. I mean, I can probably practice some more, but yeah. Um, I don't know why I decided to teach myself how to juggle. I was just bored, and juggling seemed fun.
Yeah, well, I mean, there are worse
Why
things to
not?
do with your time.
Yeah, there are. I mean, juggling kept me entertained. So,
Yeah, and I mean,
and
isn't that
sometimes it still does. When I'm just bored and I have nothing else to do, I'll
yeah?
juggle.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, isn't keeping you entertained the purpose of a hobby? So
Yeah,
then it's done its
that's
job.
the point of a hobby, to keep
Yeah.
you entertained. This is keeping me entertained. This is my hobby is podcasting now. So like, it's keeping me entertained each week.
Yeah, and well, I mean, if you can do a assignment in the meantime, like just double efficiency.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, okay, I have an assignment. I also need an episode for this week. Here's an idea. Kill two birds with one stone, and that's it. Efficiency. I have two questions last. I think they're a bit personal, so I
Hmm.
mean, they shouldn't be that personal. So, first of the last two questions, what would you say has been the biggest impact on your life so far?
Mm, hmm. I'm not sure. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like there's been any like one point, like any like one life-changing moment. Like it's been
All right,
a lot of very small increments, I guess. Hmm.
that makes sense. I mean, we're all not all of our lives are just like, oh, this happened, this happened. No, our
Yeah,
lives
like
like,
I
yeah,
don't think
baby
I've
steps.
really had like any like huge epiphany. I'd say the biggest one was when I like got into my first relationship and like that had me like made it so that I had to well like this doesn't sound very good but like actually be considerate of another person. That does not sound good when I say it like that, but like before I like sure I could like do my own thing and like but then I had to take someone else into consideration, just doing stuff, and it was quite the
Yeah,
change.
honestly, yeah. I mean, our relationship is hard to balance because I've been into it myself, and
Hmm.
both of which ended badly because I was broken up with twice. But so, I
Yeah,
mean, the more relationships you're in, because you learn from those experiences,
yeah,
and
exactly.
so you know what to do next time, and you know not what not to do next time. And yeah, that was weird. It was my second to last year of high school, and my first relationship at the end of the year. And it's like, wow, okay, this is weird. 'Cause you don't know what to do at first. You go in,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like you're going in blind at this point. Because you may have heard your friends like, oh, I've done this about this. Like, well, I haven't done that, so I don't know what it's like. So you're really going into blind with all this. I didn't really go into doing a podcast blind because I did research beforehand. So, but in a way, I still went into it blind. So I'm still learning across the way. I am just an amateur at this. This is only my sixth episode, and I've been doing this for like a month and a half. And I mean, after a while, you're going to learn.
Yeah, exactly. Like
And
it's
direct point of doing
a
this.
whole lot of trial and
Exactly.
error.
This just life. Life is just trial
Yeah.
and error. Eventually, you're gonna get something right. So,
I mean, that's just
last but
it's like
oh,
all of
sorry, go
human
on.
history, just a bunch of trial and error. Hopefully, something goes right
Mhm.
eventually.
Yeah, eventually something's gonna happen. So, last question: who would you say are the people who have impacted your life? Like the people in your life that has impacted it the most.
Hmm. Mm, well, I mean, you can go like the obvious right now. Yes, my parents, they raised me. They have
Yeah.
shaped who I am.
Yes.
But like if I just like go outside of my family and like close friends and stuff, because like I mean they've been around me for a long time. They will have changed who I am.
Mhm.
I will have changed who they are. But
Yeah.
I'd say at least probably like some of the more like public people would have probably like
Mhm.
one of the biggest ones would be CGP Grey, I think. Do you know of him?
Hmm. I don't think I do. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
I can't say I've heard of him. I'll be honest.
yeah, but he is like an educational YouTube dude, I guess. He just does short little things, like for example, like think he did one on like why wasn't there some great plague that came from America to Europe when the Europeans came by,
Hmm.
like that kind of things. But
Yeah.
like those videos, well, sure they're neat and I like them, but they're not really life changing.
Hmm.
Um, the the thing that actually well got to me was rather like
Hmm.
he has a podcast with one of his friends called Brady Haran. Uh, runs a
Hmm.
bunch of YouTube channels. I think the biggest one
Uh-huh.
is God damn it, what's it called? Number File, among others.
I think I've heard about that. I
Yeah.
think I have.
Yeah, well, just a bunch of maths, and then he also has like computer file and God damn it, now I just forgot what's it called? Well, periodic videos and uh, I don't know how many he has. He has more than he can count himself. So yeah, but they have a podcast, Hello Internet, as it's
Uh-huh.
called, and like
Hmm.
you, then they were just talking and basically like you can just hear a bunch of like how they live their lives, I guess. And I
Yeah,
just
I mean,
found, especially with Gray, like how just fucking organized he is. He's just a goddamn robot. I don't think I'll ever get to his level, but it's got me to think of how I like plan out my days in a different way. So yeah,
yeah, I mean, when it comes to the people who impacted your life, of course, your family, your parents, your close friends, but it also goes to about like teachers that you may have had in the past,
yeah,
like online influencers, like some people's heroes are YouTubers, and just because you're, I'm just amazed by like some of these people who are just constantly, consistently producing content for people to enjoy, and then when you go into the reality of it, when they're like, let's say they have to go to a convention, they're preparing videos after videos in advance. You see how much work goes into it, and just
yeah,
into like a 20-minute video could be like a few hours of recording that you just never see. It just gets edited out, and
yeah,
it
and like
just
all
goes into
these,
so much work.
yeah, like all these like for example, like just animation YouTube stuff, like
Oh my god, that
many
takes a
like
while to record.
months to make a single video.
Yeah, it goes into so much work for one video, and some people just don't like realize how much like effort goes into this,
Yeah.
and that's what like sometimes like I get inspired from them. It's like, okay, if they can do this, I can do this small little task that I've been putting off for like 15 days. For an example, I don't know.
Yeah.
So like sometimes it just amazes people that just even YouTubers in general, they inspire people to do what they do. Like YouTubers inspire YouTubers. Damn it.
Yeah, well, I mean,
My
exactly. Like you, when like just seeing your peers in general, like if they are doing a good job, then you feel like, oh shit, yeah, I'm gonna step up my game.
yeah, probably should do a good job as well. And it's like, that's great. Yeah, because for doing this podcast, I have two of my friends, Devin and Adam, who both have podcasts of their own.
Mhm.
Kind of also inspired me to do this because, no, I know they have podcasts of their own. It's like, okay, I'll give this a shot. If it goes well, it goes well. If not, it's not. I don't know. Um, and also doing, I'm creating a podcast. It's been on my mind for like a while because I'm like, I could probably do this one day. And that was me when I was younger. When I was like, yeah, this can be easy. No, it's not. Hosting a podcast isn't easy. When you're trying to get topics for each episode, depending on the main subject around your podcast. For me, it's
Yeah.
scaring curiosity. I'm trying to talk about topics of interest. Here's me personally. I'm not curious about things like 24/7. Maybe like for 5 minutes at a time. Then I research it and I'm done. But when it comes to like just a topic like this one was perfect. I got to interview you, I got to know more about you, and then also complete my assignment at the same time. So I killed two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
This being as efficient as possible. But all it comes down to just having topics ready, even if you don't have a topic ready. Just make sure you have something available if you don't have something available.
Yeah, just gotta be able to bullshit something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean,
Well.
I play a fair bit of D&D. Do you know of it?
mm, Yeah. Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and I would say like if there's like any skill that you need to have to be able to DM in that, it's just to be able to fucking bullshit your way forward.
It's just do it, and then something will happen.
Yeah.
Just yeah. All right, that's all the time we have for this week. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Dan, for not only taking interest in this and but also coming on coming on my podcast. I
Yeah, well,
appreciate it.
it's been fun. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. All right, guys, tune in next week, and perhaps we'll cure your curiosity. Bye, guys.